everyone, Grim Reviews here with another episode of Building Bots and Talking Thoughts, the unscripted show where I bust open one of these little Blokeee boxes, build what's inside, and just kind of talk about whatever's on my mind. So, let's go ahead and bust open one of these Galaxy version Transformer 1 boxes, take a look at what's inside, and get to building. Alright, so inside these boxes, you get a little instruction manual for all your Blokeee needs, as well as two little bags, one containing the hands and the stand, and the other containing the actual robot itself. So let's take our scissors and see what we got. Let's open up the hands first. Inside we got a stand and some hands. How shocking. Alright, no doubles, no doubles, no doubles. Give me some content, please. What do we got? What do we got? Oh boy. we got B-127 here. Got a little thing here. B-127, cute. I love these things, little QR code in the back. Let's get this cleaned up, resettled, and we'll get to talking. Alright everyone, and here we are back with our Blokeee stuff all nice and piled up. So, let's get building, let's get talking. Perfect topic to start off with, B-127. I don't necessarily hate B-127 in the film, but also do not necessarily care for him that much either. B-127 in Transformers 1 is voiced by Keegan-Michael Key of Key and Peele fame, as well as numerous other projects. I'm sure you've seen him in Wonka, heard his voice, and so many countless things to the point where even I'm forgetting. You ever do that? You ever get asked, like, hey, you know this person for this one thing? And you just completely blank. Like, considering Wonka was my first thing. I digress. So anyway, B-127 was the reason why I had doubts in the first place about the film, to be honest. When those first trailers came out with B-127, and I like to keep this as family friendly as possible, so I will not be cursing, but there is a joke that's talked about in the trailers and stuff that kind of threw me off just because I didn't find it funny. I didn't get a chuckle. I was wondering maybe if once I saw the film I'd get a chuckle, and I really didn't. They tried to make B annoying, and they succeeded for sure, but it's not really the kind of endearing annoying. It's more of the, oh, I should not be rooting for the good guys to go ahead and get their voice boxes ripped out, which sounds brutal, and yeah, it's a bit too brutal, but still, it is a, why did I do that when I already had those in the feet? Ugh. Still, it is, it's a rough performance, and I don't think it's Keegan's fault at all. I just think he was given not a lot of stuff to work with. The AA-tron joke was cheesy, but I got a chuckle out of it, and my mother walked in at the time, and that got her to chuckle. So, you know what? I can't fault it that much. So when we first see the character, he's like crazy, hidden away in some underground bunker, his mind almost gone, docking to random constructs that he built, and it's not the best introduction in the world. He does pull off the kind of scatterbrain crazy decently, but also it's a bit much. And it's not like it's a lot throughout the rest of the film. He doesn't actually get utilized that much. I feel like you could cut B-127 out of the film and have everything almost go exactly the same. Same thing with a lot of the characters, actually. No, that's not fair. It is not fair to say that, so I'm not going to say it. I mean, I did say it and want to leave it in, but yeah, it's rough to do Bumblebee. It is rough to do a good Bumblebee, especially after years of radio silence, or radio talking, rather, with the Bay films and Prime. Yeah, that kind of took over everything for a while, so I think we're just trying to find that sweet spot for who we want Bumblebee as a voice to be, and I think Keegan is kind of in the right direction, but he needed to be toned down just a little bit. Some of the jokes probably need to be rewritten because they didn't quite land with what they were given, but maybe others think different. Humor is subjective. Maybe someone thought B-127 was the funniest part of the film and they loved them, and all the more power to you. I'm just kind of sharing my thoughts on the matter. But yeah, those are my kind of main thoughts on one's Bumblebee, because he didn't get a lot of time to shine. He got that one sequence with the wrist blades, and that was fun. That was a fun little sequence. I did like that. But other than bugging Alita with his name and a couple other things, he just did not really contribute a lot to the overall narrative of the film, which is fine. I don't think he was really supposed to, but it is kind of a shame because I do like Bumblebee as a character. I kind of just wish we saw a bit more, I suppose. Again, I don't know, because I wasn't a huge fan of this version, so maybe what we got was just the right amount. But anyway, Bumblebee in other media, which I'm having some trouble with the chest plate here, meaning I did something wrong, which I see what I did wrong here. Very, very picky sometimes. But my first introduction with Bumblebee as a character was with Michael Bay's Transformers film in 2007. 2007's Transformers was my first introduction to the character of Bumblebee, and I really enjoyed. I loved Bumblebee to death. Everyone loved Bumblebee. It was such a cool character. The first Transformer you see talk through the radio, which at the time was a cool gimmick. It didn't really wear out, until, the second film. I kind of really wish he kept his voice, which he gets back at the end of the first film. So that was my first introduction with Bumblebee, which was we are going back to see G1. Because Bumblebee as a character really didn't get used much outside of G1, because I grew up with Hot Rod, not Hot Rod, Hot Shot. That is my bad. Which I'm struggling hardcore with this One Piece, and I don't know. Oh, it's fine. There we go. I was just having some issues getting everything back into place, so I should be. There we go. Awesome. So we can attach that. So, like I said, Hot Shot was my first introduction with the character, particularly because Hot Shot's just kind of Bumblebee. He's like Bumblebee and Hot Rod just kind of fused together, personality-wise, is what I've come to gather, or at least what I believe. If you disagree with me, let me know. So it was cool to see the Bayverse Bumblebee, and it was also cool to go back and see the G1 Bumblebee whenever I got around to it, and just kind of see how those two characters differ. But then, of course, we get into Transformers Animated, which I feel like Transformers 1 was trying to not copy, but I feel like there was definitely some inspiration there, just taken a little bit too far. And then, of course, you get Prime, which takes a lot of inspiration from the Bayverse films with the no talking, which again, I do not necessarily mind the no talking Bumblebee talking through the radio, but I think it's run its course. Does everyone else feel that way? Is it just me? I thought it was cute for a while, but now I kind of want to see him talk again, especially after seeing what they did with Rise of the Beasts, which, that was an okay film. I have no strong opinions on it one way or the other, but I wasn't a huge fan of him talking in movie quotes. I feel like at that point, just have him talk. You've already gone too far with the gimmick. It was good for one film. It made no sense, past that. So, especially by film 5, oh my goodness, that was egregious. The entire film is egregious. Hilarious. I am Bumblebee, I am your friend, I have not heard your voice since the fall. What was that film doing? What was that film doing exactly? It ruined so many things in one fell swoop. Especially that Anthony Hopkins scene where they go through the history of the Transformers. Oh my goodness. decisions were made. Decisions were definitely made, especially that photoshopped image of Optimus Prime with the cannon on his back helping I think it was like the English soldiers. It just threw me off. It threw me off so much when I first saw that, and I still share it with friends who don't know anything about the franchise, just out of context, and it gets them chuckling and questioning their existence every time. It just, yes, the Transformers have been here and they have been fighting everything, everywhere, all at once. Just canon, no more. What's that? What does it mean to be consistent? Which makes me wonder exactly what they're going to do for the next film with Bay coming back and all that. I kind of wonder if they're going to bring back Bumblebee. I mean, of course they are at this point. He is Hasbro's money-making machine. Actually, is he still even that anymore? Are people just tired of the character in general? I wouldn't believe that. But also, it's been a while. So overall, I do love seeing his character and things, and I do hope we keep seeing him more. But also, I kind of want to see Hotshot return, or just Hot Rod, or just another character get the spotlight. I do not think Bumblebee should be the face of Transformers. I think he should be a side character. Personally, not that he's ever a bad choice. I just really think other characters deserve the spotlight sometimes, and it's kind of sad that Bumblebee has gone all that kind of favor for Hasbro in the films. I mean, the Bumblebee film was worth getting, but I think that was just because I was so fatigued on Bayverse stuff that I was kind of rooting for anything slightly new, and luckily Bumblebee did give us that. Of course, you get the opening sequence, but outside of that, because I don't want to beat a dead horse there, the battle between Shatter and Dropkick and Bumblebee is legitimately great. I love the choreography, and if you ever go back and kind of take a look at that, it's very smart with how they do several things, in my opinion, which makes it very fun. It stands out, because a lot of Bayverse, you just end up getting so many clunking robots of various just mesh. You know what I'm talking about. It just becomes complete and utter chaos, whatever you want to call it. And it gets too hard to see, which is why I think Bumblebee did a good job. But overall, those are my thoughts, I think, on the character of Bumblebee as a whole, both in Transformers 1, animated, throughout time and space. I hope we see him again. If they ever do a sequel to Transformers 1 by some miracle, I hope they tweak Keegan just a little bit. I don't want his voice removed just yet. I don't want them to cop out and do it just because some people found him annoying. I want him to kind of fix the character. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine to kind of make a little bit of a course correction. Make us like him and then take his voice away. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, we got the head on there. And there we have B-127, or the robot futurely known as Bumblebee, put together like so. And anyway, yes, that has been another episode of Building Bots and Talking Thoughts. Thank you all for coming in, tuning in, and listening to me ramble. I love to have you all here. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.